we're starting to see an economic slowdown. And how is that going to affect the real estate market? I'm Garrett Stewart, and let's take a look and see what we think. First thing I wanted to show is the statistic that most CEOs right now, 3/4 of global CEOs actually say that we're going to likely be in a recession within the next 12 to 18 months in this newest survey from the Wall Street Journal. So it's looking likely we're going to be in one, but what does that mean for real estate? So throughout history, during the recessionary period, interest rates go up at the beginning of a recession, but in order to come out of a recession, interest rates are lowered to stimulate the economy moving forward. You know, that's kind of what we saw at the beginning of the pandemic when we saw those numbers drop, right? So historically, we've seen a repeated uptick in these interest rates, followed by lower interest rates. Look at the last few recessions, what we've been to, and what the peak interest rates were, and what the end result was at the end of the recession. All of them had lower interest rates from the peak of the recession interest rate to where it is now. So just know, while we see the interest rates going up today, we're likely going to come out at the end of this recession with lower interest rates, is historically what this is saying. Over the last 5 recessions, mortgage rates have fallen on average of 1.8 percentage points from the peak seen during the recession to the trough. And in many cases, they've continued to fall after the fact, as it takes some time to, return back to normal once even the recession is over. Now, we've talked about interest rates. Now let's talk about home prices. A recession does not equal a housing crisis. And with that said, look at what the last 6 recessions have done with home prices. Now, we remember that big red one there is kind of the one that's always seems to be fresh on people's mind when they think, oh, there's a bubble, there's going to burst, everything's going to happen. Everyone just thinks back to that. But look at the last 6 recessions. None other like that. And actually, 4 out of the last 6 recessions, home prices increased at the end of it versus decreased. So I thought that was really interesting. And actually, I mean, even though one of the 2 ones where it decreased, it was only 1.9% drop. It was nothing dramatic or super substantial. Yes, it's not good to see home prices drop. It's not great to watch that happen, but it was very minimal to the point of damage for anyone there. And I think everyone just still has that 2008 in their mind still. So let's talk about inventory. You may have watched my video, which if you haven't yet, make sure you click that, watch the video up there in the corner, or I'll be sure to put it here at the end of this video. What happened with inventory in the Reno Sparks area for June of 2022. But let's talk about the breakdown here of offers received are down. Offers over asking are down or almost gone here in Reno Sparks. Very few left there. We've seen sales drop as well. And in turn, inventory's going up. So we've seen that these are national numbers, by the way, and we can see that month supply of inventory has been steadily going up month after month after month. But we've seen that new listings hitting the market is not matching the same increase of month over month that it is with month supply of inventory. Now, why is that, and what does that mean? Well, it's because we are seeing a decrease in sales. Buyers are hitting that pause button, and when they're hitting that pause button, we're seeing that decrease in sales. So that's currently what we're seeing right now, and that's why we've seen this inventory jump up a little faster than we'd expect. And you can see that here, we're forecasted to kind of go back to pre-pandemic levels for sales for 2022. Look at 2019, 2018, 2017 in the 5 million, 5.3, 5.3, 5.5. We're going to be estimated around 5.4. Look at 2021. Look at last year was 6.1 million. It's significantly more sales. So just note that we're just going back to more of a normality. And we were just in this crazy booming market before. I saw this statistic and I thought it was really interesting. And I'm just going to read this white part here. A simple analysis shows that a 1-month increase in a month's supply of inventory results in a 3% decline in annualized house price growth. And our preliminary house price index is already showing moderation in house prices in April. So what that means, and what that white portion I just read says, is basically we've talked about month supply of inventory, and I talked about how that's been going up for Reno Sparks and just nationally as well. And with that said, 1 month supply, and we shoot 5 to 7 months is that balanced market. If you've seen my other videos, if you see that 1 month jump that we saw in Reno Sparks this last for June, is a little over a month jump, that is calculated to a 3% decline in what home price growth is going to be for the year. So thought that was really interesting, and we're going to keep seeing what happens with that. So you may be asking, if you're a buyer right now, should I buy a home right now? And you know what? It's a valid question with the quickly changing market that we've seen. And you may have seen these local headlines across your local and national news, kind of more fear-mongering type things of something dramatic happening. Well, I want to set the record straight. Decelerating home prices, it doesn't mean depreciating home prices. So we're just seeing a slowdown of that. You know, we were going more vertical like a rocket ship instead of, you know, kind of more of a slight increase in altitude on an airplane. So we're finally just seeing that level off a bit. And you know what? We might see a little bit of a dip temporarily because people, again, are hitting that pause button. We saw the same thing when the pandemic first hit. We saw home sales drop dramatically for April and May. And with that happening, it's just because there was a big change. Something big happened. And so people don't want to make a change or buy or make a big decision like buying a home when there's changes happening. So I just want to put that in perspective for you. And even for 2022, all of these big players here are still forecasting by the end of the year, we're going to see home appreciation on average, that green bar there, of 8.5% nationally. So that is above average. We normally go around close to 4% or so historically. So we are still going to outpace that historical average for appreciation for 2022, it looks like. And even forecasted for 2023 and beyond, we're going to be right there on that like average line of home appreciation, a healthy home appreciation. We finally are going to go back to that. So we're not going to see the crazy jumps anymore. Sorry, sellers that were hoping to get another 20% increase in their home value next year. It's looking like that won't happen, but we're going to see home prices continue to go up. So that is good news for anyone looking to buy a home here soon. You're going to be building equity really quickly. Now, part of the thing that caused a lot of our inventory crisis was our building kind of stopped after that last Great Recession, and we dipped well below the average annual units completed by home builders. Look at that big giant hole there, and it took us a while to get back from it. So we had a kind of a gap of building. And with that gap of building, you know, we just didn't have enough homes out there, and that's why we saw inventory so short the last couple of years. We saw demand go up, and we just saw housing shortage. Well, we're also seeing the biggest generation of potential home buyers hit the market. The millennials are finally here. Myself, I'm here. We're buying homes. And with that said, as we're starting to buy homes, as you can see, that's the population growth of all the different populations out there. And we're finally starting to hit the market, and we're looking for a home to buy. So that is what's driving a lot of this demand as well, is because we're seeing a lot of more increase in buyer demand. And that's going to continue for the years to come because we're just now seeing this larger increase hit the buying market. So I know this was a lot of information to go over, and you may have questions. So if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in Reno, Sparks, or Northern Nevada, or anywhere in general, you can give me a call as well. But please, let's get together. If you're here locally in Northern Nevada, let's get together, talk about your buying, selling decisions, and we can get connected on that. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit that subscribe button right over here, and you can watch, if you haven't, my last video from last week here for Reno Sparks real estate market over here, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.